talking with real people and explaining what you plan to do, what you're going to do, what you do already, what you've created. If you fail to speak to talk with people at first, but if you got something, you must start talking with people, and they at least if they won't buy, in 99% you won't sell them anything, but it will definitely sharpen your vision and your mind and the understanding what these people want. And by iterating with that, you eventually get to the point when someone will buy your product and someone will buy your services and will be extremely and will extremely appreciate your call, because that's something that this person needed and looked for years.
Our featured speaker today is an executive leader and entrepreneur over 14 years of experience in Fintech and the CTO/CPO of Colitis Web3, an AI-based hiring platform that enables blockchain professionals to land a job 3 times faster. Ross, it's a great pleasure to have you as our featured speaker today. Thanks so much for being willing to share your journey with us.
Thank you very much. I had to think about everything by myself and figure out everything by myself. And I'm extremely jealous about that, especially for my brothers. I have 2 younger brothers, and they just kind of asking me a question and providing the advice. And they, yes, thanks for that. We just do not need to get our head around how to figure out how to live the life, because you help us, and that's why I approached you, and that's why I'm sharing that with people, because that's one of my parts of contribution, to leave my mark and to give some opportunities to the people that probably do not have them, because not everyone are like a super pack with trusts behind their shoulders, or wealthy firms, or any luck.
Building off what you're talking about right now, what are some of the early life events and mentors that really had an impact on your ability to become an entrepreneur from an early stage?
Yeah, that's a really great question, Nancy. And probably I've met a lot of wonderful people through my life. It's really cool. They were super supportive and tried to do all best to help me kind of move through everything and achieve for the level of success that I already have. Now, probably more influence I had from the events that happened to me, and from my reflection, or like a community reflection, my closer cycle reflection from that. And these events, they are more like, I will be more focused on the professional life. These events are like my decision of trying myself in different jobs when I've been at early years of uni, trying to understand what I like to do, what I do not like to do. And that gave me a lot of understanding.
I think it's so important to find those things that you really enjoy and be able to engage with them so that you have the experience of feeling motivated. If you're going into work thinking, I hate doing this, you're not going to achieve very much. So I think that's an excellent point. Thank you. Can you tell us a little bit about Colitis Web3 and what you are doing through that platform?
So at Colitis, I'm a co-founder there and chief product officer. We are building an ecosystem that, firstly, right now, it's already gives an ability to get hired or find the right team member in 2 times quickly in the Web3 industry. So the platform specifically dedicated to the Web3 industry. And if someone's looking a job there or trying to kind of achieve something, the platform utilizes AI to match you with the best opportunity in on the industry. The beauty of this product is that it builds the verified professional identity profile, taking the data using AI from the different sources and from the LinkedIn, your CV, and so on, and gives the ability to build this ultimate professional identity where you can verify your skills, where you can verify your experience. So basically, it's the ultimate version of CV, LinkedIn profile, of everything which you're able to trust and which the company is able to trust. And so by taking this profile and taking the opportunities from the partners that Colitis works with, Colitis already works with all major companies in Web3 by applying AI to the open opportunities and your Colitis profile. Colitis provides you the matching score, which helps you to understand what's the best opportunity for you and helps the company understand what's the best talent for them. In terms of hiring, what we want to achieve is that we want to make the hiring process or process of finding a job as easy as possible. Because to be honest, and that's one of my main opinions as well, from the point of the finding the right talents and dragging them to the team. Because through my career, I've been a leader and I'm a leader of number of digital companies and number of digital products. And you can have the best idea you could even kind of come up with. You can be the most successful entrepreneur and the most kind of ambitious and whatever you could be. But if you don't have a team, the right people that will stand pains, that I also kind of wanted to cue through the building of Colitis, of spending, in average, one person spends from 3 to 6 months to find a job. This is not because something wrong with the person. It's because the whole process is can send in applications, then interview and multiple interviews where you basically proving your skills and you basically proving what you do. We at Colitis using AI to automate all of that. And the ideal thing is to erase all the steps. And when you have the cool looking verified professional identity from one side and the opportunity from the other side, and AI match forwardly and work in this team and work in this company without any interviews. That would be the ultimate goal, the most ideal goal, because it's really annoying to go through a lot of interviews and through the lot of applications and so on. And that's the same issue from the side of the company. The people, I've been as a CTO or CEO of the company, I must scroll through a lot of CVs, even after recruiters of my company went through the even longer list, spend a lot of time to find the right person. So we're trying to apply AI to get this process more straightforward and less stressful. And overall, Colitis is building an ecosystem that gives an opportunity to the people getting hired and then get their finances properly managed and payments properly streamlined through the employment. Because there is a huge gap between the moment you're getting hired and the moment of you getting paid. It's really stressful. Even because of the reason that the person that pays you is someone different that you work with. And in Web3 industry, it's completely different hustle because companies are paying in digital currencies, cryptocurrencies, and someone works overseas and wants to kind of receive money or spend money in different currencies. And moreover, Web3 companies have some token allocations and cryptocurrency allocations for their teams, and there is no way to manage that properly, and all these kind of things that gives a stress on the payment side, additional fees, inability to spend this money properly, inability to prove your income if you work in Web3 properly. Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense.
Sure. I think that makes a lot of sense. I can see like what your edge is now, like what really sets you apart, but it did leave me wondering, like, how did you go about building your book of business, if you will? How did you earn people's trust? Like, I can solve this problem for you. I have this experience, but like, I can fully serve this capacity. How did you really go about building your book of business in that way?
Do you mean overall, or like just Colitis specific?
Well, I guess like how slow and painful, but for some of us, it's really slow and painful. And then it just kind of happens that you have enough clientele that can refer other clientele. But did you really have to put yourself out there marketing on certain platforms? Like, what was that like for you?
Yeah, speaking about Colitis and about like my broader experience with other businesses, you really should go out of your shell and start talking with people. The first things out of what you do, and that's probably the most painful thing that every founder is trying to put aside and focus on building the best product, building the best technology. It will sell by itself, product lead company, and all this stuff, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. I'm a huge advocate of going out of your shell and reaching out to people even before you're gonna do something, or even before you gonna it's a website or landing page, whatever, just to talk with random people about what you've got in your mind and about your idea and about things that you're planning to do. Of course, you made a lot of research, and of course, you have a lot of analytics and numbers in your hands. But the trick is that all this kind of big data, analytics, and all other stuff is a kind of bullshit. Sorry for that, but there are so much data in the world. There are so much data noise that you can literally find any angle that proves your idea or kind of denies the idea if you would kind of write the research prompt properly. That kind of just proves any idea, literally any idea has 50-50% probability of being successful. You can find as many kind of statistics and analytics about trends and opportunities, and I can find even more that provides separate or complete opposite justification of your idea. So any idea is 50-50 according to analytics, has 50-50 probability of being successful according to analytics and according to any statistics and trends and everything, all researchers and all the data that is present in the internet, in books, whatever. But talking with real people and explaining what you plan to do, what you're going to do, what you do already, what you've created. If you fail to talk with people at first, but if you got something, you must start talking with people, and they at least if they won't buy, in 99% you won't sell them anything, but it will definitely sharpen your vision and your mind and the understanding what these people want. And by iterating with that, you'll eventually get to the point when someone will buy your product and someone will buy your services and will be extremely appreciate your call because that's something that this person needed and looked for years, and it helps to change this person's life a lot.
Yeah. Additionally, I think being willing to put yourself forward like that, it sharpens you and makes you better at the sort of skills that you need. Every entrepreneur needs to be able to discuss their idea with anyone and hopefully convince them of like the validity of your idea. It's a skill that's so universally necessary for entrepreneurs, I think. You've worked in the cryptocurrency and borderless payments space for 8 years, I believe. That's almost from the beginning. It's like 10 to 12 years old. I know it used to be very Wild West, but I suspect the industry has started to become more organized. What's your view on that?
I would say no, not more systematic than right now. Take a look on the meme coins, and you'll see what is even the wilder West. Yeah, the year when I joined the Web3 industry, and I'm extremely motivated and engaged on what's happening in Web3 because it's continuously something new. It's like you were riding a roller coaster every day. But together with that, the fire burns everywhere, and you're riding on a huge speed. But if to get to the point, the main thing that everyone should understand, probably from the 2017, 2018, I joined right before the crazy ICO movement started, and during the ICO, everyone was screaming from any corner that crypto will eat the world, banks will be eliminated, crypto will wipe out the traditional financial system. I hear the thoughts, ideas here and there right now as well, but the most interesting and the most controversial result of development of the growth of the crypto industry is that cryptocurrency, blockchain, and stablecoins, or taken broader, the tokenized assets, and basically the assets, they are pretty much the same assets, and they pretty much the same. The stablecoins are pretty much the same money, but just using different technology to kind of run through. So the blockchain technology will be a part of our everyday life, but it will be such part that you won't even notice. It's kind of works in some way. That's kind of the most interesting and controversial achievement of the Web3 industry. By that, because I remember when I was kind of approaching banks and approaching companies, and it was and we were talking about the partnerships, and we were talking about the opening accounts and so on. And when I kind of pronounced what we do and what I do, the word cryptocurrency stunned people, or even kind of made them like trembling, and they were in extreme fear of what you do. And it was literally like you selling drugs, or you selling people, something unknown and extremely innovative, and no one knew anything about that. And that was at the very beginning. But this year, being as a CEO of this year, I've made more than 15 partnerships with banks with rolling out the real-time payment system based on the blockchain. and I was gonna signing these agreements and being on these meetings and convincing the heads of the banks to apply this new real-time payment system based on the blockchain to simplify payments and to build the national-wide payment systems like a substitution of SWIFT or substitution of SEPA payments or FASTI payments, whatever, more efficient, real-time, and nearly no cost, and it works all both on the blockchain. And they were like, oh my God, it's quite an innovations that we waited for so many years. Where have you been earlier? I've been right here pitching the same thing to the same people, and they were like closing their eyes and closing their ears and trying to run out of the room. They just didn't want to hear me. Right now, blockchain is a part of the banking, and blockchain is a part of our life, and cryptocurrency is part of our life. Take a look on the Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. So boomers are investing in Bitcoin and Ethereum papers. Take a look on this.
Absolutely. I think you're really verbalizing like the real pains of a teacher, the real pains of anyone that's trying to help a company progress and move forward. Really, people are much more comfortable clinging to staying the same. Hello, all. I hope you are enjoying this episode. I want to ask you, our listeners, if you could give us a review in your podcasting platform of choice. We don't have sponsors and we don't run ads, but we are looking to grow. So if you feel we bring value to your listening experience, please drop us a review when you get a chance. Thanks so much. Now on with the show. So building off of Spencer's question, where do you see this going? Like 5 years, 10 years? How much a part of, I guess, the fintech space do you think this will consume? Do you think there will be anything else that will challenge it?
It has few different angles where it's going further. And in terms of technology, the blockchain will be a part, not the blockchain in a way the Ethereum or any other popular blockchain names, but the way the technology works of kind of building the chain of transactions and cryptography around that and so on will be part of the everyday life, and more and more technology and more businesses and companies will integrate that, and more companies will emerge that provide this or that angle of this technology into different industries. So eventually we will come to the point when where the blockchain will be integrated in any part of the business, and especially the business dedicated to assets and dedicated to value movement and dedicated to the money. Why? Because the blockchain is a perfect use case for moving value from one point to another point, from point A to point B, with the maximum efficiency and maximum transparency. And speaking about the cryptocurrencies, they will be a part of our speculative and crazy life. I'm not thinking about the Bitcoin and Ethereum and the bunch of cryptocurrencies as a specific class of assets. It's rather loyalty points on steroids. I mean, you have your miles on the credit card, so it's a miles on the credit card, but kind of supercharged with ability to transfer value from point A to point B, and where you can speculate these miles because someone has more miles, someone wants to buy that, and so on. For some cryptocurrencies became a matter of assets, like Bitcoin, Ethereum. Some cryptocurrencies will eventually reach the point. For me, it's kind of spin-off of everything that happens with blockchain technology. On the other side, I really believe that blockchain will incorporate a lot of tokenized assets, and all assets will run on the some kind of or blockchain specifically, or assets will be run on the current blockchains or specific dedicated applications that run for the particular asset types and so on. But one point which is important to highlight is decentralized applications and blockchain applications. That's a really cool spin-off that just kind of started to emerge. So as the blockchain is 12 years old and cryptocurrencies are 12 years old, the DeFi is kind of 3-4 years old, and not specifically DeFi, but the decentralized applications and decentralized software. And that's really interesting things that we are going to see more and more, because the complexity of such products, the complexity of these applications is extremely high right now, because today everyone can create the website. Everyone can create using the lot of modern tools that just kind of provide you an ability to click and get the landing page and website ready. But you cannot create the decentralized application. We cannot create a DeFi application, but I would like to do so. I would like to have the opportunity to work and to manage what I have in an automatic way, like to pay the rent automatically, or to distribute the different sources of income to the different accounts automatically, and so on. I still need to kind of click in my land banking or neo-banking applications. Cool that they becoming for beautifully looking and smoothly developed through the modern UI practices, but they are still not so interconnected. And there is a movement of open banking, of course, but I don't think it's staying. I think that the true future is in decentralized applications, connected, integrated decentralized applications. And as blockchain will be integrated in any part of our life, more and more smart contracts, decentralized applications will emerge and automate our daily life. And with incorporation of AI, with all these digital movements, our world will eventually became more and more digital. And that's really cool thing, because we've got some stuff to do.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I think it's going to be an interesting path forward across the next 5 to 20 years. We'll get to see how cryptocurrency and AI will change the society we all live in and how we go about different parts of our lives. Some things I imagine will become easier, whilst other things may be harder. Now, one of our listeners, Guillermo, he had a question that he wanted to ask. Guillermo, do you want to take the mic?
Hi, how are you? First, like you as a founder and as a CEO, how important do you think it's to be technical? How many times as a product developer or have you programmed or have you chosen the stack? And how you see that really impacts the product delivery, right? Because I've seen that that's in some technological endeavors is super important. So how important is for you to be a technical person when doing something like this, to be able to implement it?
That's one of the topics that I'm advocating across the communities, and by doing these talks. You must be technically educated. You must be technocratic person if you want to succeed in a digital world. You must understand how everything works and the code. And I'm not talking about being a developer, but you must speak with the developer in one language. It's not necessary for you to be able to write a code, but it's necessary for you to understand how the code works, how the system works overall. If something happens, why it doesn't work properly, what time it takes to develop a certain part of the system, or a certain part of the product, or what tool or technology to use. Because it's pretty much simple. You don't need to know everything. You just need to focus on the best cases and the best practices in your industry, and you can use that as a recipe for things that you do. It's probably the same thing as you cooking, if you like to cook. I like to cook a lot, but I'm not doing like a lot of dishes. I know my kind of favorite things that I do. I know some recipes, I know some spices, and I know how to kind of do stuff and mix stuff, and that's it. And you shouldn't know everything in all the technology, but to be successful in the digital world, you must understand how everything works, and that comes from personal experience. That's not something that I read somewhere on the articles or in the social media, whatever. It comes from the personal experience, because I've started from the banking and jumped to the digitalization of banking industry. And at first, I've been doing everything manually by my hands, and trying to figure out without any theory in my mind, and just doing stuff. Trying to talk with developers, trying to solve the issues around me. I was young and extremely motivated. I'm still extremely motivated, but unfortunately not young anymore. And I was trying to solve a lot of things around me, and I understood that the majority of solutions is in the business inefficiencies can be solved by the technology. And I literally can't get my head around how to do that properly. While speaking with a developer, or with engineering teams, I was kind of feeling like a baby that tries to put something in the right place, and that was extremely annoying to me. And after some time of embarrassment, I just sat and put like a lot of information about the programming languages, about the way how different systems work, and I've started to learn JavaScript. I started to learn Python. I started to learn PHP. I started to develop things by myself, e-commerce stores, websites, SaaS products, and that's everything without the AI. That's everything just kind of having books and the internet, of course, and even without a lot of information on the YouTube, because back in the days there was not so many information on YouTube on that particular topic, and it was extremely hard. And I spent a lot of time and some kind of a lot of personal time on that. And right now it's extremely easy because literally the majority of work AI can explain to yourself. I still write some code. And I still do, and I still kind of fix some stuff. But right now, it looks for me like I'm writing the right prompt to Claude or to ChatGPT. I like Claude more right now than ChatGPT, but the AI produces some kind of code or some piece of result to me, and I like to think about AI as a clever intern that processes books, but it's dumb, and it just kind of gives you what kind of brought from somewhere, and you must have expertise and knowledge to assess whether it's kind of right. You just kind of fixing that, testing that, providing the right direction to it, and eventually you come up with the right kind of solution, with the right product. And that's where AI couldn't go anywhere, because if you've educated yourself enough and got some expertise in the topics that you want to achieve, AI will help you to multiply, to leverage your idea, to leverage your capabilities. If you're dumb as AI is dumb, so you will be like just an addition to it, and you won't go anywhere. It will kind of feed you with bold and general answers, and there won't be any value in that. Yeah, I just wanted to summarize everything, that my strong push is convince everyone to go technical and go and to learn at least the ultimate goal, the ultimate ideal option would be to learn at least one programming language without any AI, and kind of going old school. Learn at least one programming language. Probably the best one would be Python, the easiest one, or like going more like JavaScript if you want to kind of build something, or if you want to go to the lower level. Try out to do some stuff by yourself without the help of AI. Just kind of to start from scratch and catch all the issues that you could probably find out.
Well, great advice in general. And then really great analogies, especially the one about cooking, because that's the whole, like, should you specialize yourself? You know, I think this is a broader topic that a lot of people struggle with. Like, how far down the rabbit hole do you go specializing yourself versus making sure that you can understand, you know, the different universes and kind of flex what you were doing? I think you addressed how Colitis is doing a bit of both of those. How far, you know, into the broader spectrum of serving your clients, like your job applicants, do you think you will go? I know you said you want to help them with that financial transition, which I think is amazing. But what you said about helping them upskill, do you think you'll just help them connect with other places and sources that can do that? Or do you think you'll start offering courses? Like, what do you picture for the future?
To be honest, Colitis already provides the ability to upskill your professional profile, and that's something that already existed on the Colitis platform at Colitis even before I joined. The learning direction and specifically dedicated to the Web3 always been there, and Colitis provides all of the, specifically right now there are programs dedicated to Solana blockchain development and Ethereum blockchain development. A lot of people already took the advantage of that, developing their skills in this direction, and that's a really right path of helping people to get their head around how to do things and how to be more professionally successful by continuously learning. And yeah, definitely we'll apply more force on that as a platform.
I think that's incredible. It's really, really cool that you are providing that learning environment. I'm a robotics engineer, and I find that blockchain technology and software development can be very difficult to wrap your head around. But I wanted to take a little bit of a different tack with this question. We've talked a lot about blockchain and cryptocurrency, but Colitis Web3 also uses AI, which is quite a big buzzword at the moment. And I think a lot of those discussions about AI have a great deal of fear-mongering, particularly around bias and ethics. What I'd like to get your perspective on is how a company can operate within AI or with AI in an ethical manner. With the concern for bias slipping into the data, what are your thoughts on how to mitigate prejudice from AIs?
Can you expand what do you mean in terms of ethics?
Sure, actually relevant to you. I've heard that when evaluated purely by AIs, people with less conventional British American names less likely to get a role, even if they are as or even more qualified than other candidates that do have more stereotypical male UK names. So you don't want to miss out on a highly qualified candidate just because they don't have a Western last name. How do you avoid that in Colitis Web3?
In terms of Colitis platform, we've developed the really sophisticated model focused on the skills and focused on your experience, industry knowledge, on the basics that should be used to make any decision about finding the right person and finding the right talent to the company. And that's specifically my way how I'm looking for people to join the team, and how I interview people, how I find talents for different companies and for different products like that. Because I don't think that anything else matters rather than your abilities and your knowledge, your skills that you have, and this really ridiculous for me that someone is judging any other person by the name or by any other thing that our crazy world it brings to the public discussion. And that's the particular attitude that Colitis works and establishes the basics of the product. And therefore, I think personally, it's one of the most unique approaches on the market, because personally, I was looking, and it's really cool when you build a product that solves your problem, solves your pain. I was looking at products that will give me the understanding about the skill set and about the abilities and the professional setup of the person, and assess these skill set against the required sensibilities and required open opportunity, open the job that we have at the company. That's what only should matter. Going through the AI stuff, artificial intelligence is just a statistical model. It's just an enhanced Excel spreadsheet, let's say, that knows, it's not the right word, that has the spreadsheet that has specific probabilities for the words, what words to put next after the specific words already in the context. And that's it. That's how large language models work. Huge Excel spreadsheet with weights and probabilities attached to the specific words. It's not specifically words, it's kind of tokens, but anyway, that's really simplified how everything works on that side. And the issue is it doesn't know what is bad or right. It just puts the word next to the existing word. It depends on the data that you train this specific model of AI. If you will train this specific model on the biased data, when someone doesn't like non-native names for the particular country or area or culture, it will be biased, as well as any other software. No one shouldn't blame the AI. I'm sure there will be biased AIs that will discriminate, let's say, but eventually they're not discriminating anyone. The software developer is discriminating.
Something you led off with, which is totally different than what we're talking about right now. You were saying that you are in a co-working space because it's challenging to work at home because your daughter is super curious about what you're doing, which is great. But how, at this point in your life, do you find that balance between your work, your family life, and the other things that you're passionate about?
To be honest, I don't know. I can't find the balance. And that's maybe the most honest answer. Maybe the second, my honest answer after Spencer's question about how to pronounce my surname. To be honest, on my opinion, I've tried to find work-life balance, whatever. In my opinion, you can't. You must focus on something one. And I choose, given my background, given that I came from nowhere and had really, really basic things in my life. Given that I wanna completely secure my family from seeing that what I've seen, what I've experienced, and given that I really wanna put a mark in the world and help people to have a better life, I must sacrifice some things in my life. So unfortunately, these are personal things, and my hobby, my personal life, and so on and so forth. With the coronavirus, which is cool, is the mass adoption of the remote way of working, and the ability to be extremely flexible and hybrid. I wouldn't say that I'm kind of completely remote, but ability to be hybrid in your work. I'm physically exists. I can find the spot, wherever it will be, WeWork or any other room, which is good enough to focus on something. I can kind of dedicate myself and to bring a lot of value to what I do and bring a lot of value to the world. And but getting back to the point, you'll never be work-life balanced if you want to reach some point. After the reaching some objective, reaching some target, always, and I had plenty of that, you must and you will do some kind of retrospective and thinking around what you've got, what's next, and so on and so forth. And that will be some kind of retreat and trying to get back to your balance. Just to do not die and do not burn out and die instantly. It's only depends on your ambitions and your objectives in your life. Wanna get successful and wanna change the world, wanna get wealthy or whatever, wanna create something big and impactful. You must work, turn your head down and put as much as you can on a stake to achieve that. If you want a work-life balance and you want to hang out there, you want to have hobby, you want to have any other stuff and so on, go and find the job that will provide you with a level of income that you will be okay with, and take your time to do any other stuff. Of course, you can tell that, hey, I can make my hobby and it will be my work, and my hobby will be my business, and so on. But once the hobby turns to the business, it's not hobby. It's not your hobby anymore. It's a business. It's a work, and that's completely different vibe.
I really appreciate the honesty and bluntness you've provided in your answer there. Sometimes you'll read online about people who've achieved a huge amount of success and will say, to succeed, you need to meditate for an hour each morning, followed by half an hour of affirmations and then another hour of exercise. When I think during the harder parts of their journey that they worked through, they worked and worked and worked some more to get to their success. I think that often is the requirement for the sort of goals set within entrepreneurship, not to focus on work-life balance, but maybe to take it extreme in regards to working.
It's it's every time. It's 99% happens in entrepreneurship. And if you want to be a successful founder, you just need to work hard. Do not read any stories about a cold-plunged successful founders that raised billions, millions, and have 5 social media channels up to date each hour, and 10 podcasts, and so on and so forth. They probably came out of the trust behind them, or a wealth, and so on and forth. If you coming from nowhere, ready for hard work, if you want to achieve something.
Thank you so much. Now, we do have one particular question we like to end on, and I want you to interpret it as makes the most sense to you. However, the question is, what would be the words of wisdom you would like to leave us with today? This can be something someone else has told you, or something you read, or something you came up with yourself.
The only thing and the best thing that you can do, go and try to sell it. Go to speak with people with about your idea. Go to speak with people about your problem. Why do you suck? What do you have right now? Get out from your shell and try to tell everything as it is, honestly, everything. Putting on the table all your secrets and commercial stuff and so on, because no one cares. No one cares about your idea. No one cares about what you have inside. No one will do anything. But eventually, you will get back with the understanding what to do next. And where the magic is, it's not even what people will tell you. It's when you hear yourself talking, and you hear yourself of kind of talking about this problem, you hear this problem, and your mind, your brain processes that, and it's like talking with a person. Talk with yourself in the mirror. It will also help you to find to kind of solve the issues that you have. But the 90% of issues and problems of the businesses and of the founders are in sales. So go and sell your products, your services, and you open the Pandora box of interesting secrets that will surprise you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ross. We really appreciate all of the time you've spent with us today, and thank you for going over just a little bit. We really value everything you shared with us from your personal and professional journey and really taught us today. We feel very fortunate to have met you and to be part of this community with you. If you have anyone else that you think would benefit from going through this experience of being interviewed, kind of thinking about their journey reflectively, definitely feel free to connect us with them. And if other people want to reach out to you to get to know you and what you're doing better, what's the best way for them to do that and stay in touch with you?
Yes, as Nancy mentioned that, so I really like to talk with people. As I just advised, I'm gonna going out of my shell and talking with people not only selling, but also gathering feedback and trying to understand problems around the world and problems that people have. That's also fuel for my future ventures and for future products that I'm going to build, I'm going to bring to this world. And I really would like that anyone who has enjoyed this conversation, or if it will be recorded and put somewhere, who will be enjoyed that, I will encourage you to go to my LinkedIn page and connect with me, ask questions, as many as you can, as many as you want. Happy to advise how to get up your product, your company, and get the ball rolling in your business. Go to my LinkedIn, check out my Twitter. That's probably the best channels that I have. And the most up to date. I always online 24% probably, and be happy to talk with you people.
Wonderful. We'll definitely advise people to connect with you on LinkedIn. Thank you so much again, and we hope you have a great evening and a great rest of your weekend.
I had so much fun.
Thank you, Ross. Absolutely amazing.
Take care. We'll talk soon.
You've just finished another episode of Founders Voyage, the podcast for entrepreneurs by entrepreneurs. The team at Founders Voyage wants to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We hope you enjoyed your time with us, and if so, please share this with someone else who might enjoy this podcast. You can also support us by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and by donating to our Patreon. Outro music today is Something for Nothing by Reverend Peyton's Big Damn Band.